In the past 2 years, international travels have become complicated, but it's still possible and it's definitely doable. Right now, Tiffany and I are in Thailand.
And we're going to show you how to enter Thailand in 2022. My name's Tiffany and this is Nico, and we are a digital nomad couple. If you are new here, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get into it.
While this video is being filmed in January 2022, the rules are always changing, so make sure you check online first with your country and the regulations and how they stand with Thailand.
Before we jump into things, I want to just really quick stress the importance of organization. It's going to be a lot and it can get a little bit overwhelming, so being organized is key.
And on top of that, every one thing that you need is dependent off of the next thing. So with that, Tiffany and I created a sheet that you can use too. If you'd like a copy of the same exact sheet created and used to get our trip into Thailand organized, click the link in the description and we will happily get one your way. And before we go any further, we really have to stress the importance. Print a copy of every single document that you have. We had so many hiccups, last minute surprises when trying to board our flights because we needed a printed copy.
Step 1, book your flight. We specifically used Skyscanner to get a good flight deal, and they used an agent called Kiwi.com. Another detail to note is that wherever your layover might be, you might need another kind of form to fill out and to try and just check ahead of time, because we're telling you this because we made the mistake of not filling this out ahead of time, and we had to fill out a health form when we got there, and again it was a whole nother stress and mess of we're having a short layover and needing to recheck everything in. So fill out and look up all the little forms and details ahead of time and be ready.
And print a copy.
Yeah. Step 2, medical insurance. So when we filled out the Thai Pass, the requirement was $50,000 in medical insurance.
So what you're seeing right now is the exact site Tiff and I used to book our insurance. Again, it is extremely important that this is medical travel insurance that is covering $50,000.
Step 3, the ASQ hotel. So right now they temporarily stopped the test and go. They might bring that back. You're going to need to kind of see what is the current update. Otherwise, there's a test and go. There is, depending on your V status, the sandbox 7-day quarantine if you arrive in Phuket. And then there is the 8 to 10-day quarantine arriving in Bangkok and other areas of Thailand. So you're gonna need to stay up to date on what the current rules is. But either way, you're going to need to book an ASQ official hotel. So what we did is we went on the official website, and then we specifically wrote to each hotel and asked them their pricing and their rules and all of that. And so that's how we ended up booking our hotel. But we started from the initial ASQ website. People are booking on websites such as Agoda, but we really felt iffy about it because we were reading in the Facebook groups that it seemed like the hotels sometimes weren't even real hotels, and I think in the end we just wanted to be sure that everything was going great, so we booked it directly through the hotel going from the ASQ website. And we are currently in quarantine in our hotel right now. We are on day 6.
Woo! So a couple of details that surprised us and we learned on the way is when you're emailing these hotels, and if you're not married, make sure to ask if it's okay that you room with your significant other if you are or are not married, because laws out here are a little different, and if you're not married to your spouse, you actually have to book 2 separate rooms. Please make sure to specify this, as some of the hotels have consent forms you have to sign to make sure to be able to room with your loved one. To make sure that you're getting the quarantine package. A lot of these hotels offer the quarantine package, which is transportation from the airport to the hotel, which is awesome. On the way to your hotel from the airport, the ride will also stop you by the nearest
hospital
for your amazing PCR test, and then you'll take that, you'll go right to the hotel. Most packages also include a second test. As of right now, you have to retest You've also really got to make sure that your quarantine package includes food. The package we got includes 3 meals a day. Questionable meals, but it's good. Most part, we've been very happy with the food, and if anything, there's also food delivery apps. We've been using Food Panda,
and
Grab, a couple others, but just make sure that when you're at the airport, you pick up a SIM and that you get cash, because a lot of these apps are not able to verify American phone numbers.
Step 4, your return flight. So obviously, number 1 recommendation would be to book an official flight, a cheap flight to somewhere nearby like Singapore. We ended up using this official website called onewayflight.com, and they ended up, basically they have agents that book the flight for you and then they cancel it themselves, so they take that step out of you having to worry about it, and you get a flight confirmation and ticket. And that worked for us to apply for the Thai pass, as well as we needed to show it to board our flight from the UK to Thailand.
So again, make sure you have that ticket that they send you ready, printed, screenshotted. Have as many backups of these documents as you possibly can. Always have it at hand ready to show any of these boarding agents, because they will probably ask you for it.
Step 5, Thai pass, what we've been waiting for. So the Epic Thai pass, we ended up joining a bunch of Facebook groups ahead of time to kind of just read about what's going on with the Thai pass. And it seems to be a little bit all over the place. Some people have been getting their Thai pass hours before their flight, leaving them super stressed. Some people have been denied even though they have all the official documents and paid everything ahead of time. So we wanted to really stay on the safe side of getting this Thai pass, and so we ended up using an agency called Trunk. Now Trunk really helped us with just having us send them everything. They let us know like what we needed to tweak and add, and then they ended up giving us our Thai pass. So it's really up to you. Obviously an agency is going to cost a little bit more, but you get that guarantee at the end of the day. So it's up to you which way you want to go. The Thai pass is also going to be the number 1 thing when you're entering Thailand. They're gonna pretty much every stop along the way when you enter Thailand is going to be scanning your Thai pass. So have it on your phone, have it printed, just have it ready to go.
One last important detail is that you have an accommodation for after your quarantine hotel for at least a week.
Also, I didn't know this until we needed to look for it, but Airbnb has an option for visas where they give you the address of the place and everything you need to send to the visa. Step 6 is the COVID test. The COVID test is going to be dependent and different for each airline, for each country. So you're going to need to check on all that. We recommend to do your COVID test the morning of the day before, or if you're going to do it closer to your flight, to check when you're going to receive those results and check with the lab on that. But you want to be very specific on getting those test results and getting it as close to your flight as you can, because the airline we saw denied a lot of people for not having their COVID test according to the number of hours that that specific airline and country required. So be on top of that, and that's going to be probably one of the top priorities of this whole thing.
Yep, make sure you time it right, because as Tiff said, there had been people that had just missed that 48, 72-hour window and were denied boarding. Did I mention print a result of your COVID test? Because they will make you print it. What had happened is we landed in UK. We didn't have a printed document of our test, so I needed to run out of line, run to another line of all the other people that forgot to print their test. Again, double check each country. Every country is different. When we landed in UK, they required that it be 48 hours. And then when we landed in Thailand, they required it to be 72 hours. So really make sure you nail the timing of your test, because you will be denied if you don't hit the required time. We don't want that.
Okay, so we land in Thailand and the airport is completely empty. They have us sit in these chairs and they have us fill out the form and also again show our Thai pass. Then after filling out that first form, we go to a second stop, maybe about 2-3 more stops, and then border control. And at each stop, you're just really showing the same information: your hotel, your Thai pass, your COVID test, all of that. So just again, you're gonna need all of that ready to go because you're gonna show it a couple times. Then you reach border control and finally enter.
And then depending on whatever you booked, sandbox, 7-day, 8-day, 10-day, whatever, you're probably going to get picked up by your hotel after you leave all of the border control. And then from there, enjoy your time on Thailand. You have deserved it. You have been through the trenches to get here. Tiff and I just look back at getting here and we laugh. And we're just so thankful to be in our little square hotel. We're almost done. We're almost going to get out there and explore the rest of Thailand.
We can feel the warmth coming from our little window, and we are just so excited to walk outside and feel the beautiful sunshine, and we just can't wait.
So we hope you guys have enjoyed this video, taken away plenty. We have tried to iron out every single detail and problem we've run into to make sure that you don't. If you guys want more Thailand content, travel content, and all of the above, make sure to subscribe, as we're going to have plenty more travel content coming out.
We can't wait to show you more of Thailand.